Good morning. Um, this is your first lecture for Mathematical Tools for Economics, which is a complementary course in the first semester of BA Economics. We are going to revisit the first topic that I had taken in the introductory lecture as well, which is the BODMAS rules. The BODMAS rules gives you the order in which mathematical operations should be calculated. Many of you have already understood this concept based on the first introductory lecture that I had last week, but that day many people were unable to join the group. So I'm just repeating it for the benefit of those who missed the introductory lecture. So, the acronym or the short form BODMAS tells you the order in which mathematical operations must be solved. B stands for brackets, O stands for off. Off is similar to multiplication, but when you have off as well as multiplication present in the same equation, you will always solve off first. O can also stand for orders. By orders, I mean terms like x square or 4 cube and exponents and so on. 36 to the power half, root under 9 and so on. After brackets and off comes D, which stands for division, M stands for multiplication, and then comes addition and subtraction. In some lectures, you will also see that teachers also like to say that division and multiplication can happen simultaneously. And if you're doing it simultaneously in the same step, remember to go from left to right in that order, right? Similarly, some teachers like to say that the addition and subtraction can also be solved simultaneously. By simultaneously, I mean in the same step or at the same time. If you choose to do that, again, remember to move from left to right. In the next few slides, I will show you a few examples and then I will follow it up with a small assignment of basic questions. Now, here I have shown you two questions. The basic numbers, if you notice, are the same. It's 3 plus 6 into 2 in both the versions. However, both the versions will give you very different answers based on which order of operations you conduct first. Let's look at the first example, 3 plus 6 into 2 without the brackets. As you can see, since there are no brackets and there is no off, the next order of operation will be division. Since there is no division, let's look for the next order, which is multiplication. So over here, I'm going to solve the multiplication first. So I will get 3 plus 6 into 2 is 12, right? After multiplication, the next order of operator to be followed is addition. 3 plus 12 is 15. So 15 is my answer in the first case. Remember, the original question, there were no brackets. So you have to decide which to solve first based on the BODMAS rule. Now let's have a look at the second question. Again, if you look at this second question, except for the brackets, there are no changes in either the numbers or the mathematical operators. But the BODMAS rule tells us that brackets should be solved first. So I first solve the parenthesis or the brackets and get 3 plus 6 is equal to 9. Now after the brackets, we look for any off or orders. Since they are not there, we next look for division, D. There is no division here. What we have is multiplication or M. So 9 into 2 is 18. So as you can see, even though we have the same basic numbers and even though we had the same two mathematical operators, depending on where the brackets are and depending on the BODMAS rule, we will get different answers to the two questions. This is why you have to keep in mind that any time you get any equation to be solved, you should always do it in the order of BODMAS, where brackets comes first, followed by off or orders. Next is division, and then multiplication, addition, finally subtraction. Now let's have a look at another question. Once again, I'm writing the order on the right hand side for easy reference. So to solve this question, first look for any brackets. We have a bracket over here. Inside the bracket we have 6 into 5 square plus 3. So first solve the brackets. Inside the bracket, since you have a combination of numbers and operations, you will again look for the BODMAS order. Within this bracket, the first thing that we come across is O, or the orders. So we are supposed to solve 5 square first. So I can write that as 7 plus 6 into 5 square is 25 plus 3, and I close the brackets. Now we are still trying to solve the bracket. Inside the bracket we have a multiplication sign and we have an addition sign. As you can see, M comes before the addition. So you are supposed to solve 6 into 25 first. So that can be done as 7 plus 6 into 25 is 150 plus 3. Now within the bracket, the only operation that you have left is the addition. So let us solve that. So you got 7 plus 153. So 153 is the value of the bracket when it is solved. Now all that is left is the addition operation. So let's do the addition operation. 153 plus 7 is 160. And this is your final answer. Now let's have a look at another question. Let's have a look at another question where we have different types of brackets. We know that in our BODMAS rule, the B stands for brackets, which means that is what is to be solved first. But what do we do when we have different types of brackets? Even here, we can specify an order in which the brackets themselves should be solved. So among the brackets, the first to be solved is the bar bracket. After solving the bar bracket come these brackets, which are called parentheses. P-A-R-A-N-T-H-E-S-I-S, parentheses, followed by, these are called curly braces or curly brackets. Okay, and finally you are supposed to solve these brackets, which are called square brackets. So the B in the BODMAS follows this rule, this order of operations. Let's try and solve the question on the left hand side. As you can see, we have a bar bracket over 5 minus 3. So we will have to solve that first. So I'll write this as 27 minus square bracket 20 minus curly braces 10 minus parenthesis 7 minus, we first solve 5 minus 3 under the bar bracket, which is 2. Close parenthesis, close curly braces, close square brackets. The next in the bracket is the parenthesis. So 7 minus 2 comes inside the parenthesis. I will have to solve that. 27 minus square bracket 20 minus 10 minus, since 7 minus 2 is 5, I shall write this here. Close the curly brackets, close the square brackets. Now it's the turn for the curly braces to be solved. So 27 minus 20 minus 10 minus 5 is 5. So I write that. I close the square brackets, which gives me 27 minus 20 minus 5 is 15. Finally, there is only one operation, that is subtraction, to be solved. So 27 minus 15 is 12, which is the answer. I hope this is clear. When you have different types of brackets, the brackets have to be solved first in order of the type of brackets. First solve the bar bracket, next parenthesis, followed by curly braces, followed by square brackets. Now let's have a look at another question where we have a mix of different operations as well as different types of brackets. So again, on the right hand side, for your reference, I am writing the order of operations. It is BODMAS, where brackets need to be solved first, and within the brackets I am just mentioning the order of the brackets to be solved. It is bar bracket, followed by parenthesis, followed by curly braces, followed by square brackets. So as you can see here, we have two types of brackets here. We have parenthesis as well as square brackets. The first that needs to be solved is the parenthesis. So my next step will be, in the square bracket I write 72 minus 12 divided by 3 of 2, close the square brackets, plus I solve the parenthesis first. So 18 minus 6 is 12 divided by 4. Now in this line, as you can see, there is the square bracket involved. So you need to solve the square brackets first. Now inside the square brackets there are many different operations. There is a subtraction, there is a division, there is an off. So inside the square bracket I will again need to apply BODMAS. So within the square bracket I first solve the off. Remember, it takes precedence over simple multiplication, division, addition and subtraction. So within the square bracket I write 72 minus 12 divided by 3 of 2 is the same as 3 into 2. The only difference is the off will always get solved first. So 3 into 2 is 6 plus 12 divided by 4. We still have to finish solving the square bracket. Inside the square bracket we have a subtraction and we have a division. The division has to be solved first. So 72 minus 12 divided by 6 is 2. Close square brackets, plus 12 divided by 4. Now within the square bracket there is only one operation, which is the subtraction. So I will solve that. 72 minus 72 minus 2 is 70, plus 12 divided by 4. Now we have solved all the brackets. What is left is a plus sign and a division sign. Remember that division has to be solved first. So I will first solve 12 divided by 4. So I've got 70 plus 12 divided by 4 is 3. We have only one operation that is left, which is a plus or an addition. So I will just do that and I will get 73 as the answer. I hope this is clear to everybody. If you have any doubts, you can always contact me on my WhatsApp number.